Okay, so this tutorial is going to tell you how to do drop spins. There are two different kinds of drop spins that you can do on Sabre. So there's standard drop spins that look like this. Okay, and then there's Hilt drop spins, which the name is a little misleading, but it's the best name I can give it, honestly. So Hilt drop spins, they're not like this. Your hand is actually here, so it's just closer to the hilt, but it's still on the blade. And those look like this. So yeah. Alright. These drop spins are the exact same hand movement as with rifle and air blade. So if you have one of those down, this is going to translate fairly easy. But when I say my best advice, if you're transferring the skill over from a heavier equipment, take the weight into consideration, because even if I've just been practicing rifle drop spins before I get to Sabre, and then I start doing Sabre drop spins, I put way too much force on it. Okay, just because Sabre is significantly lighter than those two things, the weight is distributed differently, so it's just scarier. So I suggest starting with the lightest equipment you have, and then building up to other stuff in terms of daily practice stuff. But that's just my little rant. So into drop spins. For standard drop spins, you're going to be underhand with your right hand at that second cheat tape. Okay, so this one's the first cheat tape. This is the second one. It's the one that's closer to the tip. And of course, this is for right-handed stuff. You can do both of these types of drop spins on the left, but I'm going to show you on the right because I don't want to drop a lot in this video. So that's just a personal thing that I need to build up on because it's one of my weaker things. But for right-handed drop spins, start here, and then when you progress with the drop spins, your hand is going to start spinning between the two cheat tapes. Okay, so you start here, and this is just a neater, prettier way to start, and then it shifts to here while you're actually doing it. Okay, so you're at that cheat tape. It's kind of like between your first finger, I guess, like your index finger. That's just the way that I grab it. But yeah, so you're going to just kind of drop it with your left hand to give it that swing. And then you're going to release when your right hand is like that. Okay. So, just like that. Now, while you're doing this, your left hand can be doing one of many different things. Okay, you can have a standard dancer pretty hand where you're just, I don't dance, but yeah, so you can have it like that. You can have your guard pretty hand like this. You could have your hand on your hip. You could have it out to the side. One person told me to do a fist by your belly button, but the most standard, the most common freehand thing that we really do with weapons is flat behind your back. Now, this is a massive pet peeve for me when people do it wrong. I'll see people all the time with their hands relaxed or curled or doing all kinds of weird stuff behind their back. But really what it should be is just nice and flat right here. Okay, maybe it's because I was in Roxy, but it's a whole thing. Just make it pretty, make it clean, make it sharp, and don't let your elbow do all kinds of weird stuff. It should stay in the same place, and it should be a very strong position. Alright, so let's keep doing actual drop spins. Right? This is the end goal. Okay, this is what it should look like. But when you're starting out, it's a very good idea to just kind of break them up and make them a little bit choppier so that you get the technique correct. And when I started, I would have my Sabre flipping all around when I was doing them. It was very weird. But as you get the muscle memory, it'll get a lot easier. So, just don't be afraid to just kind of break it up like this. Sometimes it's harder to do this because you don't have the momentum already, but it'll help you focus on the release point. Okay, so let's talk about catching it from a standard drop spin. So to catch it, it looks like this. Alright, so your left hand will end up under the hilt, your right hand will be over by the second cheat tape. Alright, so it's pretty much exactly how you would catch a rifle in order to do a toss. So this would be the hand that's on the butt, and this would be like under, like half of the nose. I think in terms of rifle, but maybe your brain doesn't do that. So this is how you're gonna catch it, right? So you just kind of give it like a little bit of an extra lift on the final drop spin in order to give yourself more time to catch it. Now when I say lift, I do not mean like release up here, okay? You just kind of give it a little bit of something extra, and then you shift your hand over and you just kind of catch it. It's something to really just experiment with, play around with until you get it. With that being said, always wear gloves, because this is a skill that can really make you bleed. But yeah, so standard drop spins, and you catch like that. Hilt drop spins, same idea, basically. You're going to start between the cheat tape and the hilt. You're just kind of in that area. Your hand is behind your back, and you just start. Just go for it. And then when you catch it, it looks like this. Okay, so you catch it with your hands in the exact same position as with the other drop spins. It's just different because the sabre's facing the other way. So your right hand is on the basket, left hand is underhand. Right? That's really all there is to it. I mean, I'll show you both of these things from the back, but it's not a whole lot to say. So I'll show you standard ones first, and then we'll do hilt ones. So these are standard ones. Alright, and we're catching nice and strong like this. And here is hilt drop spin. Now, practice on both sides. You can absolutely still do drop spins on the left. Mine aren't terrible. Oop, that catches off. But, yeah, just do the opposite of both things. That was great. I didn't drop that. Anyway, yeah, so that's both kinds of saber drop spins.